Sounds strange, right? Everyone tells you that to win women over, you must always be the flawless alpha male. But here's the truth. She has already met dozens of guys trying to act perfect. What surprises her is a man who can be real without being weak, open without being needy. Machiavelli once wrote, "Real strength is knowing your own flaws before your enemies do." In seduction, your biggest enemy is the fake mask worn by almost every other man. The real question, are you ready to take that mask off and show her something real? Because when you do, you'll see how her guard melts in front of true authenticity. Let's break it down. The awkward conqueror trap. Why most men lose without knowing. One of the biggest mistakes men make when talking to women is approaching like they're trying to win a contest or solve a problem. They show up with rehearsed lines, overused compliments, and an energy that screams, "Please choose me. Please see my value." And guess what? She feels it right away. Women have an incredible sense for what's authentic and what's fake. It's not magic. It's instinct. Her subconscious has been trained her whole life to notice when a man's words don't match his energy. When you come across like you're trying to take her approval instead of genuinely connecting, her guard goes up automatically. She's not cold. She's not heartless. It's biology. She's wired to protect herself from men who see her as a prize to win, not a person to know. This is where Machiavellian wisdom flips the game. Real power isn't about pushing harder, talking faster, or proving yourself. Power is knowing the terrain before you make your move. It's about patience. It's about understanding. It's about playing the long game. A woman is not a puzzle you need to solve or a trophy you need to earn. She's a world to explore. So, drop the generic small talk that every other guy uses. Skip the robotic, "So, what do you do for work?" Instead ask, "What's the part of your work that excites you the most?" Don't ask the flat, "Where are you from?" Ask, "What place changed the way you see life?" See how different that feels. One question dies the moment it's answered. The other opens a door into her world, into her emotions, into her story. And that's where true connection begins. Because when she feels like you actually want to know her, not just collect her number or win her approval, her defenses lower. This is the start of what I call strategic vulnerability. A way to stand out from every other guy without pretending, without acting, without performing. But before we get into how vulnerability becomes your secret advantage, there's something even more important that most men never even think about. Your physical presence. Because the way you show up without saying a word often speaks louder than anything that comes out of your mouth. And that's where most men unknowingly sabotage themselves. Silent authority. How a man owns the room without saying a word. A man's presence can be his greatest weapon or his biggest weakness. Think about this. Have you ever seen a man walk into a room and without saying a single word, people, including women, turn to look at him? It's not because of perfect looks or towering height. It's something deeper, something Machiavelli once called silent authority. Silent authority is when a man doesn't demand attention, yet people feel his presence. He doesn't have to act loud, brag, or show off. His energy speaks louder than words. And this works with both men and women. Men respect him and women feel curious about him. So, how does a man create this unspoken power? It begins with his eyes. Most insecure men either avoid eye contact or overdo it. One keeps his head down, afraid to look directly. The other stares so intensely that it feels uncomfortable. Both make him look unsure of himself. A man with silent authority does it differently. When he looks at a woman, his gaze is steady and calm. Not a lifeless stare, not a creepy glare, but a genuine look that says, "I see you." When she speaks, he listens with his eyes. He looks at her as if her words matter, as if he is present in that moment. He's not staring to impress. He's connecting because he cares. Now let's talk about body language. A man who owns the room doesn't fidget or shrink into himself. His shoulders are relaxed, his chest open, his movements deliberate, and when he's with a woman, he mirrors her body language naturally, not like a robot trying to copy her, but with a subtle delay that feels organic. For example, if she leans forward, he leans forward slightly after a moment. If she crosses her legs, he adjusts his posture slowly. She doesn't think about it consciously, but she feels it. Psychologists have proven that when two people's bodies are in sync, their emotions begin to align too. That's why couples who connect deeply often move in rhythm without even realizing it. And now for the most overlooked skill, intentional silence. Most men panic when there's a pause in the conversation with a woman. He thinks, I need to say something quick or she'll lose interest. So he fills the air with nervous chatter, bad jokes, or random stories. But a man with silent authority is different. He knows that silence can be magnetic if used right. When she pauses to think or feel, he doesn't rush. He simply stays present. Steady gaze, calm posture, relaxed breathing. That pause speaks louder than 100 compliments. It silently says, I'm comfortable with myself. I don't need to perform. I enjoy this moment with you. And that is rare. When a man can hold space like this with his eyes, his body, and his silence, a woman feels safe and drawn to him. She feels like she's with a man who doesn't need approval because he already owns himself. That is silent authority. It's not about trying harder. It's about being grounded, calm, and authentic. Men respect it. Women are moved by it. It's one of the most powerful ways a man can stand out without saying a single word. The power of intentional silence. Most men make the same mistake when talking to a woman. They panic the moment there's a pause. The second the conversation slows, they rush to fill it with nervous laughter, bad jokes, or random questions that don't even matter. They feel like silence means failure. But this belief kills attraction. Here's the truth. Silence is one of the most powerful tools a man can use. When there's a pause, you don't have to panic. When she stops talking for a moment to think or feel, let her stay calm. Sit back with your shoulders relaxed. Breathe slowly. Hold steady, comfortable eye contact without forcing it. That quiet space is not awkward unless you make it awkward. When you remain confident and calm, the silence actually works in your favor. It sends a strong message without you saying a word. I'm secure in myself. I don't need to fill every second with noise. Take your time. And that kind of presence is magnetic. Why? Because most men can't handle silence. They try too hard to entertain or impress, and it comes across as nervous energy. A man who's comfortable with pauses stands out immediately. Cutting through illusions. Finding which values are truly yours. Destroying everything inside you that does not belong to you. This is why Jung said, the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. And here's the paradox. To become who you are is not easy. It requires suffering, conflict, and sacrifice. You cannot keep everything. You must let go of people, beliefs, and even parts of yourself. That's why most people run away from individuation. They prefer comfort over truth. But those who walk this path, they gain something far greater. Authentic power. Because a man who has faced his own darkness, who has burned in his own fire, becomes untouchable. He cannot be manipulated by guilt. He cannot be controlled by fear. He becomes a creator of his own destiny. So the question is, how do you begin this path of individuation? Starts with brutal honesty. Ask yourself, which parts of me are truly mine, and which are borrowed from others? The voice in your head that tells you what is good and bad. Is it yours, or is it your parents', your teachers', your religion's? The desires you chase, the job, the car, the validation, are they really yours, or are they planted in you by society? Step 1. Confront the borrowed self. Write it down. Face it. And have the courage to say, this is not me. Step 2. Face the shadow. Look at the dark parts of yourself you try to hide, your envy, your rage, your lust, your fear. Do not suppress them. Understand them. Integrate them. Because your shadow, if unacknowledged, controls you. But once you confront it, it fuels you. Step 3. Choose your values deliberately. Don't live by second-hand morality. Decide what strength means to you. Decide what love means to you. Decide what success means to you. This is how you forge your own code. A code that no one can take away. And here lies the truth. Individuation is not about becoming perfect. It is about becoming whole. The world doesn't need another obedient man. It needs men who have faced themselves, who are not afraid of their darkness, and who create from their own fire. That is the man Nietzsche pointed to when he spoke of the Übermensch. That is the man Jung described as individuated. And that is the man you must dare to become. So remember, do not fear losing people. Fear losing yourself. Do not fear suffering. Fear living a life that was never yours. Burn away what is false. Keep only what is truly yours. And rise, not as what the world told you to be, but as what you were always meant to become. If this message shook something inside you, don't just let it fade away. Sit with it. Write about it. Begin the work. And if you want more of these deep explorations into psychology, philosophy, and the art of becoming, Make sure you like this video, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe for more. Because the journey has only just begun.